Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane. The one, the only master of propaganda. Your lord and master, king of kings, off here to a 1v1 on Amilly fields in the north. That is McBain, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany. Duthchman, here with the 1st Panzer Division with Mechanized, Blitzkrieg and Storm Doctrine in the south. That is the angry Dutchman, angriest of the Dutchmen. With urban defense, bit of its elements here I would say, with Fort headquarters, light anti-tank guns, shock troopers, booby traps, and the KV-2 heavy tank with double pioneer grenadiers for McBain, double conscripts for angry Dutchman, and a big hearty thanks to my paid supporters who keep making the Propagandacast possible. So big thanks to all of you. Other people can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon, or you can donate via PayPal, links in the description. And you can also comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button. As for those wondering, when will I get some Companies 3 videos up with, the pre-alpha build we currently got going on? When I get a decent replays. I've not had a lot of luck actually getting any, in matches in the first place. First day, it's public. There were issues with the servers because there are too many, and I was just, not had much luck there. So if you got a, good one between 30 to 50 minutes, feel free to send it in. Though, again, between half an hour and 50 minutes, any longer than that, I'm going to toss it out. And if you don't tell me how long it is, I'm just going to ignore it as well. Sorry, but there's the replay function I do have access to currently is incredibly basic, even more basic than this. So if I'm going to have to have no clue as to how long it is, I'm not going to spend my time on it. So quick note there. Again, I know it sounds a bit harsh, but again, I only have so much time in a day. Double pioneers, double grenadiers. We got conscripted with the grenadiers here. So the infantry there being fired upon by the grenadiers. The Kanakti casing out their Yuri drops first here. The rest just keep carrying on valiantly, stoically in the face of the German attackers. And these fuel points secured there for the Red Army. Conscripts there down to 4 men. Pioneers closing in with MP40s. Conscripts there down to half health there already. Pioneers, more conscripts in there. More guns in the side. Conscript there blocking up the flank as well. There 4 conscript built here by angry Dutchmen. A bold aggressive choice there. 3rd Grenadier squad there for McBain and the German army. Guns with that isolated squad here, forcing us to move in there, getting perhaps the Pioneers time to rush the remaining 3 conscripts there behind heavy cover. A lot of decisions being made already in the early game. Troops moving in here. 4th conscript ready there for angry Dutchmen, and the 5th motorized rifle company versus McBain's Dritter Panzer Grenadier Company. Pioneers closing the conscripts here, tearing into them with MP40s. They're Schmeissers, sending them packing here. North there, Pioneers using the point here. Definitely interesting to see a double Pioneer build. No heavy machine guns yet here for McBain, by the way. Focus more just aggression and grabbing points here. Barbed wire up there. But yes, trust me, I do want to cover some Companies 3. It's just, I also want to cast something good, so I'm a bit of a bind there because I could just cast whatever, but I just don't feel that's what I want to. Got to the routed, more moving in, backed up engineers, slow moving up with the grenadiers. The flamethrowers will definitely challenge here for the grenadiers. Flamethrowers being quite good against them, so they're really small, they tend to bunch up. I mean, the flamethrower, which is an AoE weapon or splash weapon, tends to be quite effective versus them. So, very good there, of course, from angry Dutchman. They have a problem there from Blade. Oh, right grenade off here against the conscript and heavy cover, takes less damage. Grenadiers being overwhelmed. Again, this is kind of why I do want the heavy machine gun team to support your grenadiers versus the infantry. That way, give it a bit of an edge. Nothing further here from McBain, though we do have tech, but no sort of structures yet, or Panzer Grenadier. Grand Western point here, sees an Eastern field point though, so despite losing the engagement here, the McBain is still making excellent progress elsewhere, so, I mean, that's not half bad, honestly. That is not half bad at all. Grenadiers need reinforcement, and some could maybe also do with some first aid. Troops reinforcing healing there. Got the Eastern field point. There we go, Grenadiers against the contact by the railway cut-off point here. Angry Dutchman men there doing what they can for the motherland. Down to 3 men as the Grenadiers pushing ahead. Their Kar-90Ks, they're just tearing into them. And these have got Pioneers for the conscript here. And the ends up retreating there. I think the conscript done it, but they would actually take some damage there from the Pioneers up close. So don't fault them for doing. Mine goes off, they're killing several Pioneers under McBain's command. Calf Pond being reclaimed here. Still, angry Dutchman is actually behind the field compared to McBain. So, despite winning again that significantly large infantry engagement, he ultimately loses out because McBain just had more elements being proactive elsewhere. So, that's something showing even you might lose the battle, you might still win overall. That said, of course, you can't keep this up. Still, like to make a nice cup of tea from McBain. Can also be getting crippled grenadiers with the light machine gun. There's no sign of that yet. Pioneer squad's about to get wiped out here. Definitely too slow to retreat here from McBain. I mean, that many troops plus a flamethrower, yeah, definitely a bad call there by McBain. They should retreat the Pioneers much sooner and much more swiftly. Note he's merged the conflict with Engineers there. Engineers closing in. Engaging that in the open here. We got more conflict around there for the Angry Dutchman. I'd like to mechanize company up there. Got the Western Fuel Pump with the Grenadier. 2.5 to there for McBain. Drive grenade off and kaboom! Almost wipes the entire Engineer squad there. And the conscripts there, but sadly it might look like here that both will evade McBain. Pretty lucky there for Angry Dutchman, but certainly a bit tiresome for McBain, who is going though for the half-track. That is definitely a nice pick there. We'll have to see if he goes to the flame. No, he's upgrading on his already like machine gun, so it's not the flame for upgrade, but actually the regular half-track he's going for. That's nice, at least from my perspective. Pack 40 there for McBain. Half-track, they will give him quite a bit of field presence. They'll to reinforce his Grenadiers on the front line, heal them as well though. I just pop him to the half-track and just allow him to quickly fire them from point to point, so he can actually gain quite some strength here by using the half-track wisely. Tempting command being rushed out here for Angry Dutchman. That said, he can't easily get out the T-70. He could go for the half-track here. Going reinforcing, getting the half-track there, providing support for the frontline Truppen. And of course can provide support with its own machine gun, which is actually like, is decent. Not amazing, but it does the job. I think, again, roughly sort of equivalent to the Grenadiers light machine gun. To counter the taking fire there from a lot of fire points. Half track there for Angry Dutchman. Probably, though, won't be for the same purpose. McBain's going for it for. He'll probably upgrade to the Quartermaster, though. Would be pretty exciting if both sides actually go for mechanized infantry play. That would be a absolute amazing development. Comes to the Mingenic Grenadiers, need to be careful to support the half-track properly here, but there you go, getting met with a vicious fusillade there of machine gun fire plus rifle fire here. The conscript team definitely pushed back in again. Thanks to reinforce the front line, he just have to retreat as quickly, which means he can maintain a better frontline presence again. This is one of the advantages of the half, just not having to retreat as much, meaning you spend a lot less time running back and forth. This is huge in terms of like presence. This definitely makes things more good here for Angry Dutchman. He's got his half-track though under the M5. Graham Neeson Fuel, and again McBain now has again supreme field control, and again much stronger field presence. That said, I probably would have popped the Grenadiers inside the half-track, kept the half-track nearby so we could just quickly pop them out, and meanwhile they just heal inside the half-track. I think that would be a fairly good idea here for McBain. On the east, each German Panzer division had roughly its first battalion equipped with Panzer Grenadiers, though some would only have a few companies. So Grenadiers being hammered with a court-mounted half-track, absolutely shredded. Could see a wipe in McBain. That'd be great for Angry Dutchman. It'd be another wipe here, where again McBain has yet to land anything similar to Angry Dutchman. That said, might be able to ambush here with the Panzerfaust pack combo, which the pack missed. The Panzerfaust does not, but that was really painful for McBain. Really painful, but great for Angry Dutchman. His half-track survives, and McBain is just left to smolder a bit. He's finally going for the heavy machine gun team, but he definitely needs some infantry out. He could theoretically still go for Storm Doctrine for the Jaeger Command Squad here, but I could also see Blitzkrieg or Mechanized being higher priorities at this point for for McBain. Grenadier squad up, he could hit them with some machine guns, but he definitely needs more infantry at this point, though. Just more Grenadiers would also work out for him. But Panzer Grenadiers could also be an excellent addition for McBain. As for Angry Dutchman, we're not seeing any shock troopers. I mean, those wouldn't be half bad either. Right Grenadier here expecting repair engineers, and he does get the half-track fine here. Makes up somewhat for the losses. That said, those are still heavy losses. Heavy machine to Marine to at least help deal with Angry Dutchman's assault. Half-track rather reaches Veterans 1, and there we go. We do get Storm Doctrine. We do get the Air Command Squad. Not bad. Machine there being quickly supported by the half-track. So at least reinforced on the front line. Can also go ambush camouflage there. Heavy fighting here. A brutal close quarters defense here as Angry Dutchman pulls in. McBain there falling back, using the half-track again as an anchor point for his troops, allowing to reinforce. Another half-track for Angry Dutchman though. More mechanization. No armor. But yeah, lots of fire here. Jaeger Command's go arriving here just in time. Pioneers need to retreat now before the risk of being wiped out. I don't think he can reinforce in time. He could try and pop them into the half-track, but that's going to help out there. Half-track close to 2 here. Gains shared experience. There you go. Gained. Conflict keep pushing ahead here. We do not have anti-tank grenades, but obviously McBain does not know yet. Grenadiers there being bled out. Need to retreat. I think at this point they're taking too much damage. Jaeger Command will close in, but there we go. That was a hell of a fight here. And McBain there just absorbed it somewhat. But there you go, second M5 half-track out, and he of course is adding the court mount already. That is quite a bit of manpower and munitions, though not so much fuel there. I mean, that's still less fuel than 2 T-70s, so in some ways it kind of makes sense for Angry Dutchman to do it like this. Allows him to still have a lot more, you shall say, light vehicular presence without sinking too much fuel in, thus hurting his tech too much either. So, not shabby there. But for McBain, more infantry, and otherwise taking up, I think it's a really good. I mean, he's got a ton of fuel right now. It'd be amazing for Mania just to push it for some medium armor. And of course, laying down some mines now with this half-tech, I think it would also be an excellent idea here. The Schutzmine could do a lot there to further slow down any attacks from Angry Dutchman. And also, for example, catch up the new half-tank and, you know, make that an easy target for his anti-tank gun. So already off here to a fairly exciting, and I would also say fairly non-conventional match here, because just, I mean, 3 half-tracks total from both sides is highly irregular, in particular when one of them is, you know, the Vermont one's not even upgraded. I would still like to see, you know, Angry Dutchman will go for non-upgraded half-tech, but I'll take what I can get. I'll take what I can get. Yeah, Command Squad Control Pack 4 gets a good shot off in the half-tech there, punching straight through the thin armor there. Grenadiers pushing in, of course, all backed up with the half-tech, which at high levels of veteran can reinforce troops from further away. For example, here, much safer distance can now maintain while still reinforcing the Command Squad as an against veteran fleet. He can actually reinforce troops from quite a bit of ways. So right now, Angry Dutchman is actually struggling here with McBain, in part because the half-track is giving McBain such a field presence. Again, it makes it much harder for Angry Dutchman to make any breakthroughs. And again, McBain can actually just steadily, sort of slowly push ahead here. This is why I think half-track is actually like a really overlooked element. But again, a well-handled half-track can just be such a powerful asset. Ooh. That must have been a mistake there by McBain. Field gun there for Angry Dutchman, the Red Army. 5th Mechanized Corps there, trying to shatter the fascist dominions they're machining around here with the flamethrower units on the flank. Thumbs up there. Still big 2-point lead is pretty good from McBain versus Angry Dutchman. Pack 40 repositioning, half-tech as well. Closing in on that ace level, got 3 kills. Getting the half-tech again. Rifling constantly doing some damage. We've got points being seized with the Pioneers, and we got the extra Pioneer squad around there. Could consider adding some ambush camouflage on some of his other men there. But I definitely should at least have the Grenadiers slightly into the half-tech tree and heal them up a bit. He's routed. Spanker base from McBain. We do have the tech. You can then support connect a Panzer 4 right now here versus Angry Dutchman and Ostwind. Ostwind would actually be more have a shock effect. I think we that sense more better, but a Panzer 4 will also be quite effective here for McBain. Like, you just need something armored right now, while Angry Dutchman still like struggling with the initial successes here of McBain and his mechanized infantry. Up from around here, Pack 4 being bombarded, and again, he can reinforce easily thanks to the half-track. Pack wiped out though, but again, can recruit and then reinforce alongside the troops to recruit as long as that 4-man. So again, that set needs to get the half-track to safety. There we go, grab, and again can reinforce. Still, might also want to pop the internal piece around here on the MG42. Coming out there, Pantophos in the half-track. Oh, close one there, close one. There we go, incendiary piece around here from McBain. Pack being destroyed. Gunny's about to get wiped as well. Not sure why it's taking that long there. There we go. Pack wiped and then proceeds to bombard the machine gun in the same breath. He needs that spawn copy. He's going for it, but definitely looking a bit rough here. Field being bombarded. Glimpse been deal with the half-track on the flank here. Sith 3 phone gun crew is being absolutely demolished here by the incendiary ping around the M4. He's actually merging with it, but he's still losing them like, I don't know, something that dies rapidly. Probably should get the half-track out before it gets wiped out, then get the rest of the troops out. Rifle grenade off there, doesn't catch the conscripts. Yay, commands go around there. Could just sprint in and Panther-fast it. And he lost the half-track. I would say, senselessly, honestly, there. Half-track did so much work here for McBain. And he could have avoided losing it there. I don't know why he didn't get it out of there. That was a definite mistake there. Definite mistake, particularly on the heavy losses he's taken here by Angry Dutchman. So that was definitely not a great engagement. He's getting out on Ostwind, though he definitely still has the arm advantage, so he can, to some degree, compensate for the losses, but even then, I feel like he definitely suffered a lot more than he actually like really needed to. I mean, obviously you don't need to suffer losses, but I mean, obviously some of it was much harder to avoid. But I feel like in particular the half-track loss was just very easily avoided there. Still, the Flak Panzer is going to give the Angry Dutchman a case of severe indigestion. I'll definitely give McBain's forces a significant firepower boost, but he needs to replace his infant losses, and fairly schnell. And honestly, I would recommend perhaps another half-track down the road, even if it's not so say a priority here for him. Machine gun needs to retreat. Flak Panther arriving here, and yeah, he's going to retreat pretty fast, wrapping up it, taking a huge chunk out of the conscripts, leaving Angry Dutchman's infantry force at the front line here fairly depleted. 31 kills on the MG42 crew, and they're going to be still a few more flak hits there. So he can actually go for a Panther force soon as well, and it is crucial to note, meanwhile, Angry Dutchman has no mechanized armor companies. I mean, right now McBain is just unleashing the Panzersturm on Angry Dutchman. Graham Neeson point with the Pioneers, very good. Maybe should consider cutting some of that barbed wire. Moving on the centre victory point, I think that's going to be met with some fierce flak fire, and there you go. Front Vic's out and being bounded by the Ostwind. Counter being bounded by the Ostwind. Victory points was got full 69 versus 286. He can actually rush out the T-34 from 6, but even then he will be a bit undergunned. You also got like a Stuka bombing strike that becomes handy there for McBain. Of course, smoke bombs could also be quite useful. And of course, you know, mines I still think would be a great idea. Definitely something he also looked, for example, the half-tick could lay down mines. They could have probably helped him a lot doing some of these fights here previously. And the smoke bombs honestly also could have, so definitely not so great there by McBain. A few slip-ups. Though strategically, I mean, he's still doing fairly well, but he's also giving Angry Dutchman much more time to recover. Still, Panther Fart here to join in with the Ostwind. That is going to be quite a bit of armor here versus Angry Dutchman. Halfway to the ace level there on the MD42. More troops up here, the engineers scouting out. Come to the route hit, Panther moving to flank here and stop the conscripts by the fuel point. Again hurting Angry Dutchman's fuel economy, and of course ensuring that McBain remains very much at the one with the advantage there. Pushing for the field gun here, Panther von Ostwind could actually get the wipe and then destroy it. That would actually leave Angry Dutchman in a tight spot once more. The crew's back. There you go, he merges, narrowly buying some time there, but the question is, will it really matter? And I think the answer to that is niet, comrade. And there you go, the film crew just got slaughtered anyway, so you can destroy it. We do get the T-34s from 6, and meanwhile, McBain lost the MG42. McBain's infinite preservation and unit preservation rule definitely leaves a fair bit to be decided this match. As they can obviously understand being laser focused on the field gun, but there you go, got the machine gun, but can he get his hands on it? Or deny it to Angry Dutchman? I'm not so sure about that, and he still needs to replace his infantry losses. Almost got the machine gun again here. We got 10 kills on that one, 9 on the Panzer IV. And wipes it again. I mean, this is so far a fairly brutal match with heavy losses on both sides. But the difference is, like, Angry Dutchman still has most of infantry, McBain does not, but on the other hand, he definitely enjoys a hell of an armor advantage. In fact, he'd just go for another Ostwind right now, or soon for another Panther IV. He could also go for the Stug, though. Instead he goes to the Bunker here, which honestly also makes sense. Another Pioneer squad as well, and we got a light anti-tank gun from Angry Dutchman. The M42 45mm gun. Now, I think that's a match of desperation. Like, he's feeling pressured and wants it out there to help deal with McBain's armor. Even if it's not going to be amazing, it's better than having nothing. And I'm guessing he just doesn't want to spend the time on the Cis-3 division field gun. It's that he was hoping to call in some shock troops. That doesn't really pass as a thing there, because there's a huge manpower difference there. So yeah, I'm guessing he's just feeling really pressured here by McBain and just wanted something out. Panther moving in there. Line second shoots, active penetrates the Panther Force frontal armor there. Good hit there. Second shot, the bouncers. 12 kills, 9 kills. Panther Force there. McBain, though, is still spectacularly short in infantry. Wildly short. There we go. Finally going up to 3 infantry squads again. Definitely necessary there. Sandbags, there we go. Flak Panzer unleashing hell upon the conscripts. Their bodies being torn asunder by the Ostman and the Panther 4. And there we got Veterans 1, 15 kills though on the Flak Panzer. It's really taking a toll here on Angry Dutchman's infantry. Troops reinforcing healing. So there you go. Fresh Grenadier squad out, adding the light machine gun. Still, I feel like should add some ambush camouflage with other units. Halfway almost there to 32 on the Flak Panzer. Ground lost on victory point again. We got 448 was 228. McBain continues to maintain a solid lead of Angry Dutchman. We got mines here and flare mines there. Very good. Thumbs up to Angry Dutchman. And certainly again, one thing McBain though has been lacking in spades is mines. Fix up the Flak Panzer there. More mines here for Angry Dutchman. That is beautiful. Unless you're the one running into them, in which case, holy smokes, that was just the first infantry wipe here from McBain. It's just like, you know, the Panther 4 utterly obliterating their conscript squads there with a lucky shot and then finishing off the survivor with the machine guns. That was a real out of nowhere wipe there. Great for McBain. Definitely puts a significant halt there to Angry Dutchman's recovery of the situation. And we got a Stug here for McBain. I was honestly expecting a Panther 4 here, another Ostwind. That's not to say the Stug is bad, but by going by like typical player logic, I don't think they go for the Stug here.
Supply sector under attack.
Defrosting it, Pan needs to be careful. Panther shoots and misses. Stug halfway done here for McBain.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Another miss there. Need to be careful with the Panther 4 though. One mistake could quickly, you know, land him in deep water, in particular since there's not really a lot of troops around to support the Panther 4. So like one mistake there could make it very difficult to recover, even with a smoke bomb ability to be used. Yeah, command squad all need to be careful. We do have decent fuel and the fire's being ceased, and there goes Stug arrives. The Sturmgeschütz is here. Panther 4 snaps Yuri there into oblivion. Eastern fuel for the Pioneers. T-Fed rushing in here for the Red Army. Sturmgeschütz moving ahead here for Deutschland. Ostman moving in. Great hit from the Stug and then T-Fed force from 6. Stug's about to get annihilated. Panther rushing in here, and we got smoke bombs finally employed here, but he's using on this anti-tank narrowly there, saving the Stug by the looks of it. Can also use the Panther then to fire into the smoke there. Ostman there, very close, 22. The T-Fed moving in, the Stug turn around to shoot at it.
Our territory is falling into enemy.
Again, this is where a bit more support would be great for McBain to assist things better. Panther 4 remaining at a bit of a distance there. Grenadiers dealing with the Angry Dutchman's infantry there, and he's still, like, even as, like, you know, bit waffling about, he's still making great progress elsewhere. Definitely displaying, I think, some really good overall awareness for the battlefield here, and just able to, like, you know, keep all these balls going at the same time. So, thumbs up to McBain, even his infantry position at times has seen some issues.
Only 200 points remain.
Nothing further here, but again, more infantry, right? Nothing big great here there. Panther Grenadier squad, even just more Grenadiers be great here. Almost got the wipe there on the conscripts with the Ostwind here. 21 kills. The Flak Panzer is definitely paying itself off. Stug in need of repairs, then is receiving them. Great, no sign of more armor here. As for Angry Dutchman, go for more T-34, so you could also go for the H-5. There's also Plan Bliat, which is, of course, to go for the KV-2, but no, he's going to go for another T-34-6, which I think, under the current circumstances, is definitely the wisest of decisions. Constantly bombarded, let out. Still an additional army from McBain. I mean, just going for another Panther 4 and Ostman. It'd be great too. I mean, he just have so much armor. And like 2 Ostmans right now, backed up with the Panther from the Archduke. Could be a real Grim Reaper move here for Angry Dutchman. He's just risking having the rest of his forces just bled out there. As the 2 Ostmans will just melt the infantry support weapons while the Panther 4 and Archduke, deal with armor. And again, the Panther 4 can also help as the infantry afterwards. So I think that's a lot of options here for McBain. He does go instead for tier 4. That is an option too, and doesn't have like a good armor component to make it work. But there's a part of me that thinks you just go for like another Ostman or Panzer 4 here. Would also be fast and much more cost efficient. But again, he could make tier 4 work. Oh, there's actually mine there from McBain. He actually did lay some down, but he's still flooding a lot of munitions there. 284. That is a humongous munitions float there. Whoops. Sorry about that. Mouse wheel slipped a bit, then scrolling. Black Panther very close to gaining a small rate of fire increase there. Panther 4 heading eastwards. Very close to 2 on that one as well. Shot bounces, T-34 misses. Fairly lucky for both there, and there we go. Another bounce and another bounce. Wow. Watching with the conscripts. Duke, they're taking nasty hit. Near space at work there with some mines. Again, more mining by Angry Dutchman. Thumbs up. There you go. Panther 4 finally gets a shot through, but also takes a shot. Duke misses. Panther 4 misses as well. Oh! That sets the mine off. That's sad. I don't think he's in the position to exploit it. So, no heavy Panzer Corps yet here for McBain. Could be planning a Panther, could be planning a Sturmpanzer or a Panzerwerfer. They definitely should get that up soon. Whatever he wants to go for. Bit of skirmishing there. Grab the fuel point once more. Continuing to maintain a strong fuel lead over Angry Dutchman here. Got the heavy Panzer got from McBain. Ooh, that was a close hold. Oh, that was a what then? McBain once more shot and infantry squad. Maxims for Angry Dutchman. There you go, heavy Panzer call right around the corner from McBain. And again, the question then is, what does he get? What does he desire? And he desires a Sturmpanzer 4. It's like the Ostwind was based off the Panther 4 chassis. In fact, they put a lot of things on the Panther 4 chassis. They had flak panzers. You had, of course, the heavy assault tank there. You had the Stug 4. You had the Yak Panzer 4. Amongst other things there. Sturmpanzer halfway done. Panther 4's there. Doesn't do too much here for McBain. Panther 4 they're gaining their tier 2. They just added. They're good. Quite a munition float McBain though. 360 versus Angry Dutchman's 80 or so. There we go. Sturmpanzer out, adding the penalty machine gun to that one as well. Always a good idea. Rolling out here with the Sturmpanzer 4. Now they're going to just go through McBain though. Thumbs up. And what is this? We got the field camp out there for Angry Dutchman, which is just basically the fort headquarters, but you know, in field campy form. Pilots in front of the T-34 from 6. So there we go. That is up. Priding also with the rally defense ability there. He's being hammered the Flak Panzer. The Flak Panzer by finally reached their 2 here for McBain. Sturmpanzer going straight for the anti-tank gun there. Somehow it doesn't suffer a single loss of 150 gun firing it despite that tiny gun shield. Stuck there being engaged by the Sis 3 Division field gun. I think a good attack there go combined with the Stuka bomb drop could be quite devastating here for the Angry Dutchman. Where are they coming? Guessing around here. There we go. Maximum crew sandbagged, utterly annihilated. Field gun crew traumatized as half the crew's gone. The other one is probably deaf at this point. That was a hell of a shot there. That said, as you might have noticed, McBain is not following up on this, meaning Angry Dutch is plenty of time to recover from this devastating strike there. Typically can be an issue with some players, like, they make that really big artillery strike, but then they don't follow up on it, meaning it doesn't really matter too much. Your opponent just has time to recover. Like, you need to be able to, like, follow up with a swift attack, or just a lot of the time doesn't matter. Like, say, he caught the field gun while still reinforcing, boom. Much bigger impact here from McBain. Not if you can enter the conscripts. In fact, those issues, at times, doing actual wars, like, there'd be, like, a massive artillery bombardment, and then it's like, it took forever for the follow-up attack to come in, at which point, the defense already, like, prepared new defenses, and were ready to receive the attack, so... keep in mind, when you're using stuff like the Stuka bombing strike, or any other, like, massive barrage, you want to time it so that I can quickly follow up then with an actual attack on the artillery strike to, like, really exploit the shock effect. Meanwhile, again, we can see the Angry Dutch is just digging in further and further, making it harder then for McBain to actually make an attack here. Again, so far he is not. Got the Rifle Grenade there, backed up with the Osman with 24 kills. We got 345 on 94. Most of his armors also need some form of repairs. Stugbali very close to 22. Should remember to upgrade it with the pin mounted MG42. T-Fed on the move. So, I mean, he's actually got munitions for another Stuka bombing strike too. But what, how, and how will he use it here? Is the big question. Also note, by 1944-45, they kind of moved away from the whole dive bomber thing. They were mostly used as tank hunters there with their 30mm cannons and other stuff like that. And a role they actually performed fairly well in too, even though by that point they were kind of outdated. Also, for those wondering what, makes that sound, they're making the when they go for the dive bomb, it's known as the Jericho trumpet. There's a specific little device added to the Stuka, so that way, add some psychological terror effect to it. So, fun fact there. T-Fed for being fixed up there. Panther 4 fixed. Panzer for McBain. I mean, he's definitely going to go for more artillery then, and again, can work, but the question is, does he then follow up on the artillery strike? Because if he doesn't, again, we're kind of at that point that it doesn't really matter too much. Stuttgart has gained 32 there, Schützen added. Sehr gut. Sehr deutsch. But again, McBain getting steadily more and more passive, less aggressive, and again, which goes rather counter how he played early on, which again was he had the most success. Harder seen him, Angry Dutch is starting to get more control of the field here, which is definitely dangerous for McBain, because once the Wehrmacht loses the initiative, in particular late game, things tend to look a lot worse. But there you go, Panzerwerfer out for McBain. It's also one of the reasons why Tier 4 tends to be less great, because it means the Wehrmacht essentially has to give up initiative, which again is not great. Looks like it's lining up for an attack like the Sturmpanzer. Then note he should actually move in first. That's actually a good idea, because the Sturmpanzer does have the thickest arm and the most health, meaning it's actually good for absorbing hits. Moving in, we've got the Stuka bombing strike again there. Stu need to get the rest of stuff in there, plus the Panther barrage. Looks like the Maxims once with the target of the assault need to get moving in. Why is he moving back the Sturmpanzer anyways? Machine gun wiped. Unit wiped as well. That is a heavy blow to the tank direction. This time the attack is kind of moving in, but once more we're sort of noticing, even then, it's, not really a full-bodied assault here from McBain. Then he's wiped there again. Had there been more armor to pressure the tank, for example, here, this wouldn't happen. I'm not entirely sure I was so concerned about the line to tank to got the Sturmpanzer and the Panther 4 there. It definitely seems like at some point McBain may have lost his nerve here as the Angry Dutchman. Definitely costing, I think, more than it's even remotely necessary. Costing the Stuka as well there. Like, his attacks are now much more piecemeal, which again makes it easier then for Angry Dutchman to defeat it. Like, again, he just dealt a lot of damage, but he's effectively allowing Angry Dutchman to make up for these losses by just presenting like a small, easy target to deal with, rather than just attacking with all this stuff at once, which I think at which point would have crushed Angry Dutchman like a tin can. And, you know, the threats of a tank. Still, he's getting a lot of damage in the Angry Dutchman, even with that, but I will say this, I definitely think he took some significantly unnecessary losses in the process, but there you go. Angry Dutchman responsive with the KV2 heavy tank, of course, with only a field gun he just took, and their Stug. It's going to be fairly tough to stop the KV2 actually, so McBain might just be in for a rough ride here. He could quickly go for another Stug. In theory, he might also be tempted to go for the Panther, but going for the Panther would definitely give the KV2 more time to deliver like hard punches here against McBain. And there you go, moving ahead here. McBain desperately trying to hightail it out here, frantically phoning up high command that, you know, my god, they have a KV2 here. Is that old machine piece? Yeah! But apparently it's still good. I don't have my Stug. What happened to it? I can't allow it to explode. You allowed it to explode? Yeah, you Dummkopf. It's right now he's falling back here in the face of Angry Dutchman's lone tank assault. By 1944-45, the KV2, if there were any, would have been a less impressive and imposing vehicle compared to how it was like in a 1940, where definitely, you know, 1941 was, you know, much tougher for the Germans to deal with because they didn't have any guns to penetrate it. But by 1944-45, the armor really wasn't that impressive. It was actually below that of a Panzer IV. So, little fun fact there. Little fun fact. Going to bring about here with the KV2. Panther barrage again. Around the center, get 293, 294. So, the KV2 has definitely allowed Angry Dutchman to recover here versus McBain. But can McBain then recover after that? That's the big question. Because again, there's this sense he's kind of lost as another bit here versus Angry Dutchman. But it also looks like he might be starting for a Panther, and Angry Dutchman, I think he's just trying to attack McBain before that happens. Like, you know, keep him pressured, keep him like defensive, and keep him just falling back. Which honestly makes sense as long as it doesn't like overcommit. Credit from the KV2 there. Shots bouncing off its armor. Eastern Field being seized once more by McBain. He can go for the Panther now. The Panzerkampfwagen 5, and he does commit to the Panther here. Panther close to Veteran 3. Ostman is also very close to Veteran 3, at which point it gets a significant rate of fire boost, which is really great against infantry. But yeah, Angry Dutch is just getting more and more of the map here versus McBain, as he's waiting for that big old Panther. Panther catching the contours here. Ace T-54 Volley here for Angry Dutchman, 29 kills. KV2 going for the field gun, shoots, webs a bit. Panther probably should engage the KV2 a bit there alongside the field gun. Going for the blitz here, Panther almost done. If Cap doesn't blitz too far in, there might still be mines. But also on them to support. There we go, T-filming on the other side, exploiting the Panther force. Then again, there's no other support because the Stug is gone. Flak Panzer down there, huge blow there. Field gun's about to get destroyed, wiped out. In fact, it did get wiped, destroyed. Sturm Panzer moving in. Finally got the Panther, but the situation is now deteriorating rapidly here for McBain. At an incredible pace here. Panther barrage off here, raining down death on the center against Angry Dutchman. T-54 take a shot there from the Sturm Panzer, doesn't take any damage though. In the actual war, it probably would have. And with a high close shield. There you go. Panther gets a good shot on the T-54 from 6. KV2 engaging the Panther head on. Good hit there. Panther 4 there. Caught here. We got smoke bombs in, but it may not be enough here. Panther 4 that has reached the ace level there. Panthers maneuvering about. They're going for the other ace T-54 from 6. Almost got it there. Panther 4's about to get knocked out. Can't going to finish it off possibly there. Or so it's well with the other elements here. Got the ace T-54 there. Small win for McBain. Constantly being absolutely demolished out there with Panther 4 main gun out. KV2 shoots, bounces, and it gets destroyed there by something. Oh, it's the light anti-tank gun here. McBain is narrowly holding on. His forces are in tatters, but so it's Angry Dutchman's. They are both hanging on by a thread, but there you go, straight into a mine, and an opportunity for the HT Fit Force to fire a lot of shots into the rear, plus the line to tank in here, and that's going to be the end of the Panther here, and that would be the end of the McBain, I think. Almost got the... no, it doesn't almost, and there you go, CoH2 finish it off here. And with that, McBain is, I think, more or less out of the war here. Pioneers retreating, T-54 K1 rushing going for the Sturm Panzer. Worth noting he's not going for any more troops. Another T-54 fighting with Duthchman. Shot fired. And the ears being multi by the T-54 which on the base. We got 30 kills on this beast. There we go, units being wiped, and I don't even think he's trying to save them. Yep, at this point, by the way, I think McBain, by the way, kind of just rage could have walked away from the computer or something, because he doesn't do anything before, you know, Angry Dutchman just wrecks the base, or at least he just quits several minutes later. So we'll just call it the NT. GG, game over. A spectacular fight with some really nice stuff to see from Vermont and the third player, like multiple half tracks. All the other good stuff with McBain definitely feel like had some issues with his unit plus at times. Failed to lay down mines, was ahead. That was a really big mistake. Typically, when you're ahead, you really want to get those mines down. That was a missed opportunity there by far. Also, again, questionable there on the tier 4 choice, but also just, you know, when he made some of these big strikes, he didn't follow up properly, and there was also the issues there around the mid to late game period with his attacks. The Angry Dutchman, meanwhile, definitely had his own issues as well, but compared to, let's say, in some ways, he made fewer mistakes here than McBain. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell a friend, tell a family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial LinkedIn. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Until tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.